Pet peeves and emotional intelligence. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1467 of What's She Up To Now. Just documenting the journey, sharing the experiences that I've had as I transition and been involved in different offline and online businesses. Probably well over 100 different, thousands of businesses I've been involved with now in terms of a coaching and consulting and outside advisor. But personally, I have owned and operated and been in 27 different businesses and industries offline, and then in the online world I've dabbled in a lot of things as well since 2017 when I came online. So I like to share what I've learned, what's working, what's not working, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I call it, because I've gone down, like everybody that comes online and so offline in business, a lot of rabbit holes that I wish someone had said, this is my experience with this. You can try it if you want, but do you really want to? Maybe you want to rethink that. And so if I can save one person the heartache or the headache of making a mistake that I did, then I think that this is worth doing and worth sharing. So today we're talking about, for Supersize Your Business, pet peeves. And I shared over 25, probably 30 or so different pet peeves, just the general 25 most popular pet peeves right now, according to the internet. And if pet peeves can be popular. And then I added my take on some business ones and said, hey, share your biggest business pet peeve. And mine, I have several business pet peeves. The one I thought of first was when you can't get in touch with a human. But then I got to thinking about it and I'm like, well, what about people that overpromise and underdeliver? Total pet peeve of mine. What about unethical, unsavory or bad business practices? I hate those. People that lie, cheat, steal, anything unethical, or people that promise people things that they know they're not going to ever deliver on. People that spread untruths and false things online make me crazy, offline as well. But there's all kinds of, every industry has its dark underbelly, sad but true. And you need to be aware of it so that you don't fall into those traps, because some things are a slippery slope, right? Some things you're like, oh, well, everybody in our industry does this, so I'm going to do it too. Doesn't make it right? Just because everybody does it doesn't make it right. And it doesn't mean that you want to do that. There's always a way to do things in a better, more ethical way. So we talked about lots of pet peeves today, and I used nails on the chalkboard, which wasn't even on the list. I guess maybe because school has been so homeschooling and remote and online and technology lately that maybe there's a whole generation of kids that have never experienced that one teacher that loves to prove a point and will just scratch their fingers. Oh, it still makes me cringe. I had one teacher that did that, and I've actually probably had a couple back in the day, but again, that was 50 years ago, so they don't do that so much anymore. So we talked about pet peeves. We talked about emotional intelligence. We're focusing on emotions for this section, this segment of the annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us. And so this month we're focusing on emotions. So today's topic was emotional intelligence. What is it? What are characteristics of it? What are signs of emotional intelligence? And how do you develop more emotional intelligence? How do you even develop emotional intelligence? And I've never sat down and said, okay, I need to develop more emotional intelligence. Never even hit my radar. There've been all these other things that I've been doing, and of course I'm always trying to grow and improve and learn something, but I've never actually sat down and said, maybe I need to be more emotionally intelligent, because it wasn't even a thing until a few years ago, and maybe people were aware of it long before I was, but for me personally, it was never even a thing. So I will be going through how to develop more emotional intelligence, evaluating myself and saying, how could I do more of this and maybe less of that? How can I think the more emotionally intelligent you are, the less pet peeves you have, the less things bother you, because it just doesn't matter. For example, I was one of those people that used to hated traffic. Now, I spent a couple hours a day in traffic going to and from work, and so it was just an inherent part of my life. So I decided I could either continue to hate traffic and let it bother me and upset me and be stressed out and then feel worse when I got home than when I'd left work, or I could find things to focus on and do and think about while I was in traffic and not focus on the traffic, if that makes sense. But traffic used to be a huge pet peeve for me. People that don't people that don't use turn signals is one on there. And I will still catch myself commenting when I'm riding in the car with people, because I don't drive anymore. about people that don't use their turn signals. I'm like, what? Is it a big secret where you're going? Do you not want anyone to know? Of course you want people to know. It makes it safer. That's why there's turn signals in cars, so that you can indicate to people where you're going. But I found that less of the things on that list bother me, because I realize that I have the ability to not be bothered by stuff. What other people do is their business. What I do is my business. I can control my behaviors and what irritates me or doesn't, as well as what I do that irritates other people. If I know that something I do, like leaving the top off the toilet, the toothpaste tube, makes my partner crazy, all I have to do is put the top on the toothpaste tube. That's not hard, right? And I can cause that person less anxiety and stress, and then it becomes a non-issue. I like to take things and make them non-issues, because there are things that just waste our time and energy that we don't need to spend our time and energy on. And then we have time and energy to do the things we want to do, grow our businesses, spend time with the people we love and care about, travel, have adventures, whatever it is for you. So those are the couple things I was thinking about from a content standpoint today. Figured out how to easily, daily, but I have to use both my phone and my computer, add the annual challenge to the Get Up and Go private group page. So under unit guide 15, they are all there in order. So if you missed one or started with us late, or start at the, you could start day 365 or 4 or after the fact, you could go back and start with day 1 and go through the challenge to do one thing every day that improves you. Or you could start wherever you start and just work your way all the way around again. Because nothing we talk about, they're all interconnected, right? Everything we talk about when we're improving ourselves, but nothing has to be in any certain order, right? We don't have to look at our physical aspects of our life before emotional or after, or it doesn't matter what order we examine our life in. The point is that we look at our life and we say, how can I make my life better? Because it's up to me. Nobody's going to do it for you or me. So, I'm running behind today. I have learned about myself. One of my own personal pet peeves is when I go off my personal schedule, and I need to let go of that, because life gets in the way all the time, and we all know that. And just take a deep breath and roll with it. So that's a form of me working on my emotional intelligence. Hey, does it really matter what order we do things in our day? Not so much, right? I used to get really, really bent out of shape when I didn't get my videos done first thing in the morning. But when I'm traveling or doing other things, or if I've got early appointments, it's not possible. So I just have to cut myself some slack, and I've gotten a lot better about that. It used to really drive me nuts. It would be considered a pet peeve in the past. But now, just kind of go with the flow and get it done. I take a couple of deep breaths, cut myself some slack, and move on. And that's what we need to do. All right, any questions? Any way I can help you, ask. My schedule's getting busy again this year, so I will continue to offer the open-ended ask for a while, but when I stop saying it, that means it's going to be harder to get in touch with me just for a quick question here or a quick question there. All right, have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow.